Peace to all the family. It's the Hood Mystic representing www.hoodmystic.com. We have another energy reading this morning. So just want to thank everybody for joining me. Peace Chuck, peace Sterling, peace Marvin, peace Kim, and everybody else who's on the live. First things first, just grateful that people pay attention to this channel, watch these videos. It's always an indication for me to keep pushing forward, regardless of the response, negative or positive. Just the fact that people are listening or somewhat interested, whether you send me an email or not, or seek to connect with me or not, just your listenership, your ears, your love, your hate, your disinterest or interest, whatever the case may be, I really appreciate you. And I just wanted to make sure you guys know that. Because a lot of times this having YouTube channels and having subscribers and things like that, it can go to people's heads, grown ass people. But to me, I'm just forever grateful, because it doesn't have to be like this. It could be completely different. So in that space, I'm just grateful for this time and this space that you've created for me to discuss this astrology. And we are discussing learning and opening ourselves up to new information and the power of it. This video works very well with the video from yesterday, based upon the fact that we're dealing with two of the same planets that we discussed yesterday, and those planets being Mercury and Jupiter. Namaste to all the gods, goddesses, peace Linda, peace Rebel. Really appreciate you guys joining me. So like I said, we're dealing with Mercury and Jupiter. Mercury is progressed to 1.5 degrees since yesterday. So it's moving very fast to get out of Cancer, to join his buddies, to link up for this new moon that's happening August 30th. We have the link for the description for that video and article as well. So all of these daily energy readings are lead ups and build ups and support to the new moon. We're dealing with a waning moon. So we're dealing with the moon of releasing, right? Works well with Mercury and Jupiter because there's an obvious conflict with the planet Neptune. Neptune is conflicted by Jupiter. Neptune is conflicted by Mercury. Neptune being a transformational planet, one could key in on these blocks and do something about it, or one could ignore it and avoid it and act like these blocks don't exist because we're dealing with a transformational planet. The problem is that it inconjuncts a personal planet and it downright squares a social planet. So internally, we don't understand something, and socially, we're cut off. But internally, there is a solution. The solution for your issues, for your struggles, for your suffering, for your problems is to purify your mind. Of course, I feel this way, but why do I feel this way? And in that space of asking, why do I feel that way? It could be a 0.5 second. It could be a millisecond. It could be 99/10 of a second. But if you could just ask yourself, why am I feeling great? Why am I feeling horrible? Why am I feeling stagnant? Why am I feeling happy? Why do I love this person, right? That's not my wife, or not my husband, or not my boyfriend, or not my girlfriend. Why do I love them? Or, just act like it doesn't exist. Or there's some things that happened in the past that you haven't resolved, and for the mere fact of you not resolving it, you think you've conquered it. You think you overcame it because you got a little taller, you got a little smarter, and the inner child shit just don't matter anymore. because you're not a child. But these are things that hold us and block us so severely. So we have a conflict with Neptune in our transformation, but we also have a solution, and we also have a how-to. Now, the solution is found in yesterday's video, Purification of the Mind, so I'm not gonna go into that, right? We went into that for a whole hour yesterday. But I will say what I will say when I say it, but I'm not there yet. Okay. The title of this video is Turning the Known into the Unknown. And this is learning. Whoa. Rewind, remix. The title of this video is Turning the Unknown into the Noon. And damn. I guess Newt would be kind of like that primordial energy that represents the unknown, so I'm not that far off, but turning the unknown into the known. And this is learning, right? We don't go into kindergarten, even though we have that arrogance going into kindergarten and first grade, like I know all of this shit, I don't need these teachers. Miss Johnson, who do you think you are, telling me 5 + 5 = 10? It's 8. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Some of us do have that attitude, but for the most part, we want to learn about these things. Why are we learning about it? The thing about learning, since I'm like enrolled in a university now and just got finished with my first successful semester, 2 A's, happy about that. But yeah, besides that point, what I learned was it's a way to learn. It's a way to process information. And I knew about it, but I didn't necessarily know about it. History, study, research has to be found in studying primary sources. Anything outside of that is just somebody else's flip, somebody's spin on it. The truth is out there, but how do you really read and really get into different source material? A lot of us think that there are no answers, there are no solutions, so that within itself is a block, right? Because you don't even think to seek or think to check or double check and make sure, because you already know. So the idea that we want to work with today and that we want to really understand, if we don't get nothing from this daily energy reading, let's get this. And I'm going to read this out loud for the people that's driving. There are known knowns. There are things that we know that we know. There are known unknowns. That is to say, there are things that we know that we now know we don't know, but there are also unknown unknowns. There are things we do not know, we don't know. And each year we discover a few more of those unknown unknowns. Okay? Period, point blank. This is a vibe, this is a zone, and if you already know everything, you're missing the point. This is a whole new day. This is a whole new vibe. This is a whole new frequency. And you probably woke up bringing your yesterday shit into your today shit. Now, I don't even know if my wife sells these, so this ain't a plug, but my wife be making these amazing third eye teas and these amazing dream teas. They're on the site, so altercreations.net, and they really help me with what I desire. If I want to focus and utilize my third eye, like, they help. If I want to go to sleep and have dreams, they help. You know, I say that to say that I've been really drinking tea and not really engaging in too much because I'm in the process of purifying my mind. All of the shit that I'm talking about is not to say that I know, I'm literally learning with y'all. I'm growing with y'all. I'm trying to understand this shit with y'all. And this is what this conversation is about. It's not coming on here like master psychic, master teacher type shit today, nor any day. This is an environment for learning, an environment for understanding, because we don't know shit. Scientists don't know shit. Occultists in the Illuminati do not know shit. They don't know what you going to do based upon your soul. What do they know what you're going to do? How do they control you? Through your psychology. Aha. They hire psychologists and create these algorithms and control not only your internet life, they control your daily life. They control your life. They make you feel like if you ain't working, if you ain't part of this system, then you don't matter, right? So in that space, we have to create the connection between ourselves, whether you're working or not, sis, whether you're cute or not, bro, whether you're, sexy or not. We gotta love each other, right? We can't be judging, but that's not a space that you get to without purifying your mind. So this is what we're trying to learn. What happened? So within this learning triangle, there are 3 planets, and we're just going to discuss where they are as far as placements. And then as we discuss boldness and what are you waiting for, we'll discuss the aspects connected to them, okay? So Mercury and Cancer. Basically, are we thinking about our emotions? Or are we just feeling them? I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm this, I'm that. I told you, 0.99999 tenths of a second of just thinking why alleviates that. So therefore, how are you any of these things without examining them? Like examining them. You'll get so far, so deep into your understanding if you examine your emotions rather than just feel them. And it all ties into the Leo energy of self-esteem, self-worth, self-ordering, self-understanding, self-processing, self. And if you're in that space in the sun, with Venus and Mars, then you're good, because you are ordering yourself and your emotions are something that you think about and process. But if you are not, still blaming your mama, daddy, husband, wife for your shortcomings, you are in the dark zone. Like, you're in the dark zone. White people? You blaming white people? Ooh, damn. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Oh my God. Is we still doing that? Oh, we are. Let me be quiet now. Jupiter and Scorpio. To be daring. So understanding that out of thinking of your emotions, right? Out of purifying yourself, out of dealing with your truth, your ancestralness. And trust me, your ancestralness, I just made that word up, is not based upon what you've been taught, right? It couldn't be, right? Who's gonna teach you about your DNA, ladies and gentlemen? Who has that knowledge, unless you done gave your shit up to 23andMe and Ancestry.com, trying to figure out some shit that they can't tell you. They're still trying to learn. They say 97% of this shit is still a mystery to them, and we still twerking and building and creating self-esteem and feelings around some shit that they don't even really even know about. How do you even know that you're supposed to live in a house? We didn't always live in houses. How do you not know you're supposed to be butt naked in the woods? How do you not know that if you've never tried? I'm not saying that that's what you're supposed to do. I'm saying that you can't go through this day imagining that you know the best thing that is for you, because life is learning. Okay? It's real simple shit. But that ego public school education can really do something to the mind and create different walls and blockages that I don't even know how to speak to and break down. The best thing that I can do is what I'm doing. Right? So finally, Neptune in Aquarius, which is where all the problem is located, is really based upon commanding and controlling your perception. Because what you perceive directly relates to what you do. If you perceive a toxic environment, you'll feel toxic emotions. And if you don't examine why you're feeling these emotions, then you are mindless and not mindful, aware, present. These are things that we can't escape. You don't escape being present. You think you escape by drugs and alcohol and, wild sex and imagination and astral fantasies, but you're coping. So in our card of the day, we'll discuss how these two things can play on each other and how they're showing up very much in the world today. What's really happening. Because if we think that everything that's happening is external without examining the significant undertones and subconscious mind, then we're out on the outside looking in. We're watching them build the building when we are the builders ourselves. And we have to go inside and figure this shit out. And understanding that, man, this shit is not going to be easy, nor is it going to be simple, nor is it going to take is it going to just be snap with it, self-discovery. No, my thing is, and this is just me, I'm going to be like this at 75, 85, 95. If I live to 205, I'm gonna be like, what the hell can I learn today with my old ass? Cause I don't know shit. I remember when I was 30, we was at 3%. I've been studying every day for the past 80 years. We at 3.4% of the known universe. Good for us. If you're not thinking about your children, then what are you actually thinking about? You thinking about yourself and your comfortability while your children suffer? Man, this is a cycle that we have been on for too long. And the people that are succeeding, it's not like these people came over here on boats and shot our ass up. No, their ancestors did. And what their ancestors did was let it be known through ancestry of what time of day it is, who's in charge when I leave, what do I have to leave behind for them. And our parents, they were so much in trauma and shock that they never did really think of us. So we cannot continue that cycle though. We have to begin to think about our children. And all of this is found in purification. You don't understand this by dealing with the traumatized mind, a sad mind. I've been through this, I've been through that, Hood Mystic. This was terrible for me. Because purification leads to a pure mind, which directs into pure will, and this is how we become bold. Because the pure mind is bold and true. It speaks truth to power. Hell, it speaks truth to one itself, because within yourself is power, but you would not know that because you don't purify your goddamn mind. You keep thinking about the same shit every single fucking day about how I ain't good enough, how I ain't cute enough, how I ain't rich enough, how I don't got it. Why do Jay-Z got it? Why do these rich people got it? Why don't I got it? This is what you tell yourself. You got to purify your mind of that, because this is the psychological propaganda, mind control, mind fuck that they got you in. They got the original, pure, ancestral greatness, all in all, thinking that they're not good enough because they watched some goddamn TV when they was a little kid. So how can you be bold, really? You haven't got rid of that colonized fucking mind. This individual, I think I'm out here for myself, so when I succeed, everybody can look at me be successful. You're successful, sis. You're successful, bro. We're all looking at you. Now what? Now what? We've been working our whole lives to be successful, to be rich, right? To have it. So our kids can have a nice house, so they can be in the same insanity as us. They could be, caught up in commercialism. They could be diehard consumers, So much that we need to learn, right? So much that we need to understand about our history. How did we get here? And how the hell are we gonna get out, right? Because what we're dealing with is a bunch of people who know everything because such and such gave them a job, such and such gave them a degree, such and such gave them a chance, and now they just know everything. We go to them for everything. What do you feel about this? What do you think about Jay-Z? What do you think about Kaepernick? What do you think about the NFL? What do you think about racism? What do you think about this, that, and the third? Okay? What do they know? Not much. What do you know? A lot. Why don't you know it? Because you haven't purified your mind. You haven't baptized yourself. The mystic, I don't live by water. We're not talking about real water. We're talking about the primordial astral waters that sit in your brain, that course through your bloodstream, your DNA that you have access to through meditation. You mean to tell me you can't afford $1.99 to get a candle and sit with yourself for 30 minutes in the dark? You too busy? Okay. What I'm saying is, if you connect now, right, there's a different frequency that's spinning through the planet. And it's not about what I'm gonna get out of it, how I'm gonna get in return. It's the opportunity to be present, to be in the moment, to not ask, to just remind yourself, I am calm, I am present, I am at peace. Because peace is my power. Why is peace my power? Because you've been emotionally charged and emotionally stimulated your whole entire lives to either be excited or to be excited. And that could be, I'm excited to be having all this money, or I'm just excited with frustration. Have your nerves and your nerve endings always going, because you always stressed about the rent, you always stressed about this, you always stressed about that. What if you live 50 years from now and you overcome all of the shit that you think that's going to sink you under? Would you have been so caught up on that shit, or would you realize that you're going to overcome it? Matter of fact, that it ain't even shit that I'm even worried about. It's just a pre-programmed default system that I haven't woken up to change the goddamn settings. I don't like these settings. You ever have a ringtone on your phone that you hate it, and it just keep ringing, and you like, damn, I hate that damn ringtone. Like, bro, change it. You know what I'm saying? Get you one of those apps, download Soulja Boy's Kiss Me Through the Phone, and get this shit back popping again, right? Don't keep listening to the same ringtone. Download you a new one, okay? Give me 1 minute, family. So, we back. Now, boldness is the ultimate solution to this energy. The blocks is not being present, not being sure of yourself, not utilizing this Leo wave that's going through, and putting yourself in a space where, okay, I know that I want to do this, but I'm gonna wait for it. And that's kind of running contrary to purification, because if we're going to enact this bold principle and learn what we need to learn, then we have to really understand these inconjunctions and these squares outside of just ignoring them. Like I said, Neptune is a transformational planet. So at this part to the videos, most people tap out, even if they don't realize they tap out, because they're not interested in transformation. They're interested in more money. They're interested in more love. They're interested in more sex, whatever the case may be. They have a bet that they're trying to win. Spirituality within itself is a relearning and integration process of our higher selves. How could we know, right? And then if we are utilizing this and we're sure of the purification process, we're meditating, we're aligned, we know, then it's time to go. It's time to do what you came here to do now. Time to be who you want to be with now. No time to wait. Because what is the future, right? Do you know how many people imagine this time to be the future? 2019, 2020? You know, this is the future, right? You know, growing up in the 90s, oh, in 2020, in the future, like, damn, it's 2020. If that ain't the future for your ass, if that ain't, you know, waking you up to a new day, like, because this is the thing. Society has reached this course. Society cannot be any better than it was in 1950. The water can't get cleaner, the houses can't get nicer, the plumbing systems can't get better. It has reached the level of just, I hope we can make it till tomorrow. Hanging on by a thread. We talk about Flint so much, but where is your water coming from? How is your pipes looking? Oh, they've been the same pipe since the 70s? Good talk. The same pipes, the same water? Hanging on by a thread. So if you watch the news, there's no inventions, there's no discoveries, there's nothing new that's happening. Just the same old shit. Okay? So this newness that we're discussing has to be personal. It has to be transformational, and it has to be in the realms of connection. But the dark side of this boldness and connection is thinking that you're supposed to show your ass, or to have, you know, to be a porn star, or to, you know, go viral on Instagram and things like that. That could be the dark side of boldness. Like, she bold, she just naked on the gram, like, that's bold. But it's not the same thing. It's more of being bold and loving your brothers and sisters because you ain't never done that shit. You know, that's a different type of bold. So it's not about being popular. It's not even about being loved and accepted. It's about accepting yourself and then having to deal with the consequences of loving yourself. You do not live in a vacuum. Sorry to say. Sorry to inform you. But if you into the spirituality for the educational value, if you into yourself for the educational value, you do not learn yourself by being with yourself. You learn yourself by being with your opposite. It's the only way you can learn yourself. You don't learn yourself by being comfortable with people. How could you ever be learning yourself if you comfortable, right? So being bold is something very much more scarier than you once thought. See, you thought I was just talking about, showing your ass. But y'all do that anyway. And where has it gotten you? Okay. Whole bunch of likes, whole bunch of DMs, whole bunch of babies. Moving on. Accepting yourself, being bold, saying what's on your heart, saying what's on your mind is not to be like, hey, what did y'all think about what I just said a couple minutes ago? Did you like it? Okay. How'd it make you feel? That's not boldness. It's how I personally feel. It's just my experience, my life, my understanding, and you could tell people that you love them every day and you can still hurt them. You don't necessarily, there is no right or wrong in people speaking their truth, because at the same space, it's very easy to easily just disconnect from someone or just act like they don't exist. So therefore, whatever I say that triggers a person, whatever you say that triggers a person, there we have connection. There we need to grow. Hey, we need to talk. I pissed you off? DM me. Send me a Gmail. Tell me how I pissed you off. Let's see how we can resolve this. Hey, you like this content? You love this message? Hey, stay out my inbox. Don't DM me. Don't send me no emails. I only want emails from people who hated this message, right? This is learning, right? This is really dealing with yourself. Or, we can praise each other. Pour champagne on each other, down each other's throats all damn day and not go nowhere. So once we figure out what we want through pure will, through a pure mind, then it's time to get on the dance floor. Then it's time to see what's good, what's holding us back, what has us in the space of waiting and not being really sure is because we got all of this polluted mind, spiritual shit going on, that it's, how could we move forward if we're dealing with pollution and we haven't purified ourselves and we haven't baptized our mind, meaning we've changed our mind, changed our outlook, changed our focus to that of an internal dialogue being right and exact. Excuse me. I love myself. Therefore, the only people that can even stand to be around me is people that love themselves. See how that works? Card of the day. Princess of Swords. So just to double down on the princess, we want to understand the princesses as being the most powerful cards in the tarot deck, because the princesses are connected to the ancestral line, but they are also the future mothers. They are the future queens. So when we minimize the women in our lives, when we downgrade the women in our lives, we are fucking up, and we need to stop. We need to raise these little girls up to be queens, to be goddesses, to be right and exact with spirit. We don't need to tell them what to do. We just need to show them what's right? Hey, sister, your soul is large and strong, and you should engage with that in your personal time, right? Or else, what do you tell a young girl? You better look sexy. You better be beautiful. You better be smart. you better be strong. Okay? You better be in conflict with the world, because being in conflict with the world, this is how you win. And this is kind of what the Princess of Swords speaks to. There is an inner conflict within her because she hasn't really accepted. Yesterday we talked about the Princess of Dis, and the Princess of Dis is more mature than the Princess of Swords, because the Princess of Dis done already got knocked up already. She already gotta be a mama one day. So she's moving past the point of, I live in the projects, I'm a single mom. She's past that. She's like, I'm pregnant, I gotta look after this baby, I got the power, we gonna live a good life. I'm not about to use no excuses or whatever. I got myself here, and I'm gonna get myself out, because I can get myself out. I saw my mama get herself out, I seen my daddy get herself out. We get ourselves out of shit, so let's go. The Princess of Swords is not there yet. She has a conflict with her nature, but then she is not negative. She is here to protect the altar. So in the Princess of Swords card, you'll see her hand touching the altar. And that's in the Thoth Tarot deck. It'll be showing soon. She's protecting the altar, and she's still fighting. The Princess of Swords is protecting that goddamn altar because she realizes that altar is her power source, and she will do anything. Like, there is not anything that you could do to get to that altar and knock it down. And where you think that you could just subconsciously like play her or lead her away from her altar, no, she gonna kick your ass, because that's the last thing you gonna do. You gonna do whatever you think you gonna do besides cut this altar. Like, I'm ready to fight for this. Because the Princess of Swords is the earth part of air. The earth part of air, if understood from a pure intellectual state or pure scientific state, that everything in the world vibrates, even matter. And even matter exists in our minds. Even though this table feels real, even though this computer mouse feels real, it is only a matter of my mind. Okay? So in this space, everything is created from your mind. Everything is created from your altar. So you have to fight for that, because this is what they will take from your ass. They'll take this from you and give you money. They'll give you everything. They'll give you anything you desire, just to take control of your altar, just to take control of your Princess of Swords. This is why we fight. Because when you are pure, you come across as aggressive, mean, non-conforming. You're not going with the program. You gonna get fired. You gonna get your ass beat. The police ain't going like that. The government ain't going like that. So you better shut the hell up. They gonna flag your channel. All types of fears to make you not be the Princess of Swords. To make you be this docile, peaceful ass person, while they just run amok on your history, your truth, your ability to create, your ability to exist in peace and harmony. Because as long as she has that hand on that altar, they can't defeat her. Do you see her knocked down? Do you see her on her ass? Or is she standing up with the, like, one hand on the sword, one hand on the altar? Let's do this shit. it turns into a fight scene. Dun, 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 dun. A 1980s fight scene where they was really whooping ass, you know, and the music get you into it, and the sound effects is extra corny. Yeah, it's one of them type of situations. If you mean to take, like, you gonna take my altar, then I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna win, because it's one and the same, right? This is what we would call an Amazon, a warrior, but a fierce warrior. The best warriors that the world has ever offered, because these people are in tune. And I'm not even gonna call them women, right? Even though they are women, but they are gods amongst men. Because they channel the divine and the aggression purely. They're not acting. They're not faking. They're not putting on a show for VH1. It's not the angry black woman syndrome. No. It is the reality that you might have to fight to get your point across. You might have to fight to break through the things that hold you back. Within your inner dialogue, there may be blocks. You too shy. You not ready. That you begin to have to fight. To even just, it might not even be for the person that you fighting against. It might just be for yourself to say, I'm not backing down. The goddamn tag said $3.99 and you charging me $5.99. Hell no. It ain't about the cash register, but you just not about to get played by nobody or nothing. Okay? Because niggas will play you. They will be angry towards you and not give no fucks. They'll take their anger out on you and not really care. Okay? So until this is resolved, once again, why do we need to resolve this? Because that hand is on that altar, that ability to create things physically from our minds. This is our power. Without a shadow of a doubt, without nothing, like purely, you can create things from thought. Okay? And they'll take it away from you without you even realizing they took it away from you. So you must be protected and you must be aggressive when they try to infringe on your mind, infringe on your peace, infringe on your family, infringe on your way of life. Sometimes the destructive way is the only way to analyze the shit. What I mean by that, the only way to get forward is to tear all the shit down that's blocking you. Well, Hood Mystic, I can't do that. Hood Mystic, I can't do this. Hood Mystic, I can't, but I really want to do that. But I can't. Because, you know, I'm shy. I really want to da-da-da-da-da, but, you know. So ultimately, working with this Princess of Swords, one could look at this person as being wrong, or one could understand that this is a way to become creative, to channel what we think and bring it into manifestation. Now, this is an amazing ability. This is an amazing power that we all have access to. But if you hurt, if you sad, you ain't purified your mind, and you ain't showed yourself who you really are from the higher self point of view, then one is difficult to see or realize this ability, or even to the space of you're utilizing this ability but for the wrong reasons and in a negative capacity. So sometimes, because the moon being in the third decan, let's look at this objectively throughout the day. because sometimes our opposite needs to show itself so we can see how it looks. And the moon going into the third decan into Aries, the card that rules over that decan is the Four of Wands, and that card speaks to completion, opposites unifying to create a brilliant and beautiful picture. Opposites create families, man, woman, phallus, yoni, assertion, passiveness. These things are what create our families. Fighting, peace, fighting, knowing how to fight, being prepared for war. These are all things that without will be continued taken over by external forces because we don't want to fight back. Because we just want to get along and we just want to keep the status quo and we don't want to be bothered. So this isn't tumultuous and as negative as it sounds. It's very unifying and very peaceful. It's just saying, just in case, as a matter of fact, sometimes we have to fight our way through. And even if we have to fight the environment or fight our external, don't use that as an excuse to not fight within, to get to yourself, to get to your pure mind. So, that was a lot and could have been somewhat confusing. So that's why I keep my email available and open to people to discuss this. hoodmistake@gmail.com. If you like this content and want to support this content and support my channel, please visit patreon.com/hoodmystic. If you don't want to do Patreon, that's perfectly cool. paypal.me/thehoodmystic. Cash App hoodmystic38. But if you have no ways of supporting this content financially, some free ways and probably the best ways to support this content is simply sharing, liking, subscribing to my channel, Instagram stories, Facebook, Twitter, all of those different things really helps, build awareness and gets people into themselves and, psychic development at this point, because we all have these psychic gifts, we have these psychic abilities, and nothing can tell me contrary to that. And so my goal moving forward and previously is just awaken those gifts and awaken those goals, no matter how difficult, no matter how hard, how tough things appear to be, how negative the situation claims to be. I utilize my Princess of Swords every day because I'm constantly fighting for that altar. So altercreations.net is the website. That's my wife's site. Be sure to check out on those teas before you order the tea. Shoot her email, ask questions about it, get familiar, get comfortable with it, because her products help me be the person that I am today. Everything on that site is things that we use, so it's not even to the point of making money. It's just to the point of maybe you have no access to these things and we just would like to be, a supporter of your spiritual development in any way possible, in the practical, in the non-practical, through readings, through whatever. We just want to assist you in whatever you need, in any way that we can. So just want to thank you for the support thus far in this present moment. All the people that watched the video, all the people that were turned off by the video, all the people that were deeply engaged. Linda, thank you for your contribution, your boldness. But when it comes to purification, you have done it right when you activate that bold principle. Also, be sure to check out these articles, which are located in the description. Get into that new moon article and video. Really catch a vibe, really catch the feel, and be prepared for the new moon to utilize all of these things that we're discussing. So hopefully I illuminated something within your being to begin to be bold, to begin to act out in a particular way or fashion throughout the day. Be as bold as you can, be a lion, be a tiger, and do not be wondering how sheeps feel about you, right? It's completely irrelevant. We are to be ourselves and to be our true selves, and trust that our true selves is right and exact. In this process, in this spiritual development, I've never been I haven't been proven wrong. So, okay, before I leave, being bold is to create an idea, and you hold that idea until it's disproven. So certain things that you know to be true, you trust in that. Now, if something happens where it doesn't come out to be what you think it's gonna be, then okay. But until then, you're right and exact in your beliefs, feelings, ideas, and your movements. You just have to kind of move forward, and that's what the Princess of Swords is doing. She's moving forward in her right and exactness, and people not gonna like it. But who says what's right or wrong, right? Who's the end all be all of policy? We are. So let's create policy within ourselves and move forward with it. So thank you guys for joining me today. I will be back tomorrow for my birthday. Do a Vulcanalia part 2. Yeah, I like Vulcanalia. That's my day. So we're gonna turn up for the culture. Have a lot of fire on my next video. Just be sweaty. It's gonna be a sweaty one tomorrow. Peace. Y'all have a great day.